So at this point, I think I can call myself a legacy player because I've played through all 10 generations of the Not So Berry challenge. And if you're not aware of that challenge, I will link the rules down below in the description, but they were made by Little Simsy and AlwaySimming back in 2017, and I've been playing since 2017. And so if you want to watch my playthrough of the challenge, I will link the playlist down below in the description of my playthrough of what I've done, because I'm not joking, so much drama and so much chaos has happened throughout all the 10 gens, and it is baffling on how like dedicated I got to stay with that family for that long, because it's been like 5 years. 5 years of the Not So Very challenge, but it was totally 100% worth it, and I would do it again at some point in the future. But for now, I thought it'd be really fun to actually continue on and do the extended version of the Not So Very challenge with Generation 11, the White Gen, as an actor in Tartosa. So my friend Nixel here on YouTube actually made 3 extra gens of the original rules of the Not So Very challenge and kind of added her own spin to it with a backstory, with careers, aspirations, skills, relationships, and extra flair to make your game a little bit more spicy. Now, if you want to check out my friend Nixel's YouTube channel and their series of the Not So Berry Challenge through Gen 1 through Gen 13, I will link those videos and playlists and channels down below in the description, because essentially, I am not joking. I have not played through this many generations in my entire history of playing the Sims franchise from The Sims 1 to now. Like, out of all the Sims, the most gens I have had in a single family is only 6, because I have a tendency of getting bored, but then I also get attached to my Sims that I don't want to play with them anymore because I don't want them to die, because I will weep and cry like a child in a candy store not getting their favorite candy on their birthday. We don't have time for that. So I just stop playing and then start a whole new save and do the process all over again. So I am very happy that I gotten this far without losing my mind and was able to really stay dedicated and happy throughout all the 10 gens and adding my own spin, because of course over the course of like 5 years of The Sims 4 playing this challenge, there has been like different worlds, different aspirations, major updates, toddlers, basements, pools. I mean, you name it, we have gotten new things in this game than the other games we've had in the past. So I found myself not burnt out to like not continue the Not So Berry challenge, because essentially what happened is that I played through Generation 1 through 4.5 on like YouTube on this channel as pre-recorded videos, but then I got burnt out a little bit and was kind of feeling like a content drought of like, we're not getting new content for The Sims 4, like what's new pack happening, like stuff like that. So I took a break from the Not So Berry challenge for a little bit and then kind of got back into like doing it again, but I did it as a Twitch series where I continued Generation 4 to all the way to Generation 10. And that's kind of when it kind of sparked an inspiration to do the extended version. And I just fell in love with playing through legacies and trying things new and just adding my own spin to it, with also still following the rules, if that makes any sense. Now, there is a video that I've already made explaining all 10 generations in a different video, so if you want to watch that video, link down below. I have a lot to link today, okay? I'm sorry, but essentially I have so much fun playing through this family, and I called it the Berry family, or I guess technically it changed a little bit over the generations, because their last name was technically Thornberry, with Eliza Thornberry from Gen 1, who was the Mint Gen as a scientist in the scientist career. And one thing led to another. I just kept on like keeping the Barry name in the family. But here's the thing though. A lot of chaos has happened, but I'm not joking. With this generation, I'm thinking Gen 11 is like the same exact replica of Generation 1, because they're both equally chaotic. I'm not kidding. Both equally chaotic, have very weird relationships, very weird careers, and they have no sense of like surroundings of other people, because Gen 1 literally wreaked havoc of basically using the sim ray and freezing Sims and tormenting them and being evil, getting their, DNA, swapping their mouth, you name it, they've done it, and it's creepy and weird and chaotic. Now, with Gen 11, you are in the actor career and you have the actor aspiration, but you're also self-absorbed. And I find that being self-absorbed is a very interesting trait. But basically, I'm going to read you the rules of Generation 11, the white gen, so you can kind of get an understanding of why Gen 11 is the way they are and how they kind of replicate Generation 1 through my gameplay. Because I'm not kidding, they both crazy and chaotic, but I love it either way. But with Generation 11, from a young age, you grew a fascination with acting. The idea of being able to step away from reality and take on a role of someone else excited you. So with the supportive parents you had, they enrolled you into drama club for the entirety of your school life. You begin to strive for something more, becoming a global superstar actor. With focusing so much on your career, keeping serious romantic relationships is difficult because you always prioritize work over love. Ain't that the truth? Burke from Grey's Anatomy, work over love. You know who you are. You eat, breathe, sleep acting, and you are happy keeping it that way. But with a one-night stand gone wrong, you find out you are left with an unplanned child. That's where it gets a little bit juicy and chaotic, unplanned child. But your traits are self-absorbed, music lover, and non-committal. 3 traits for ample amount of chaos. You have to complete the master actor aspiration, being the acting career, but you have to be enrolled in the drama club as a child and a teen and get promoted to the junior artiste at level 4, which you can only technically get if you own Get Famous to do this generation completely. Get Famous is technically the main career of this gen. But you have to complete the actor skill and reach level 5 of singing, dancing, and an instrument of your choice. Master the career and aspiration, become a 5-star celebrity, have at least 1 celebrity best friend, and it could be Judas Ward if you want to, never get married because you're non-committal, and then have a one-night stand with and accidentally get pregnant or impregnate a sim. This will be your only child. Now, you can actually cheat this if you want to, but like honestly, having a one-night stand in The Sims 4 is literally insane because you have, try for it one time in the game, they're automatically pregnant, which is crazy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're Don Lothario, it'll automatically work because he's crazy and knows some tricks or whatever. But most of all, Generation 11 isn't a spitting image of Gen 1 because the way I play Gen 1 is kind of how I'm playing Generation 11 in a way, because essentially they are kind of like one and the same. They're not really, like Gen 1 was not committal. Gen 1 was like simple, easy, love family, wanted to always hang out with the family, but just was longing for something more. And I've always felt that they needed something else in their life, so I kept cloning my kids. I'm not kidding. Generation 1, as soon as I got the sim ray, and as soon as the Sim's husband got abducted by an alien and got pregnant by the alien, they had twins, by the way. I don't know what was going through my brain back then in 2017, but I was just cloning all of my kids. I had, a human baby, and when they became a child, I cloned that child. And then when my sim husband had a baby, I cloned that kid as well. So I had multiple kids, but I cloned half of them. And I don't know why I did that. It was just insane. You can literally go back to Generation 1 and see the basement that I had, because I'm not kidding. I literally had 2 alien twins and then a singular child for the red gen, and I cloned the aliens and I cloned the red gen. And so we had 6 kids in total with 2 human adults. So it was a full household. Half of them were clones. The rest were, birthed into the world. But I am chaotic. So my plan for Generation 11 is definitely wanting to give them a way where they can be themselves. And I decided to actually build in Tartosa because it was a new world that I never really actually got to play in or ever lived in. And it just seemed perfect enough to actually be here for the actor aspiration and the acting career, because you live on a private island. And I think it's on a 20 by 20 lot. So it seems very small, quaint, and simple enough to really do all you need to do. Now, the way that I play my game for the Not So Berry Challenge in order to keep myself sane enough to continue the next gen is, if a certain generation, like the next gen, is a certain age, I will work on their skills and also the previous gen simultaneously. That way I can get their set skills, relationships half done before I start controlling them. For example, Generation 1, I was basically already done with the element collection. I was halfway done with the career. I was almost done with the aspiration. I think I also had to do like some other like collection requirements too. But essentially, I was basically 3/4 away of being done with Gen 1. And Gen 2 was actually a child at the time where I was able to work on like their social skill and work on a few relationships, because with Gen 2, you basically have to like date all these people and like break up with them, because I think you're also non-committal too. I can't remember. But I know that you have to be a politician with City Living. And it kind of worked in their favor in a sense. So I started early as a child. And then when Gen 2 became a teen, it kind of spiraled into a whole snowball effect of like relationships don't last with Gen 2. And so I had actually moved them over to Gen 2 to Oasis Springs, because I felt, Oasis Springs, it's hot over there, a little bit of a desert, secluded, not really sharing your life with people until like the very end, because with Gen 2, you can't marry until you're an elder. So it's like very, very, very crazy on how it kind of all plays out. But if you ever want to like try out this challenge, I do definitely recommend doing 2 gens at once if you have the option to. If you don't, wait until like they're old enough and then you can like start doing all that, because ultimately, if you do start way too early, you might get very overwhelmed and very confused. Because my key thing is always take your time with legacy challenges, because if you rush through it, you'll get burnt out very quickly and then you'll finish everything and won't have anything else to do. So I find myself definitely wanting to continue on with this like family in a sense, because what's going to happen after I finish all like the rest of like the 2 extra gens, like Gen 12 and 13, I'm going to end up doing the career legacy challenge. And I've always wanted to try that challenge actually, and my friend Rochella, the yellow lover herself, made that challenge where each generation is a different career. And so I've always wanted to try to see what I can possibly do and kind of make it what I want and see what could happen ultimately with 26 generations. So that should be very, very fun, honestly. But who really knows? And ultimately, we don't know until we try. But for the most part, though, I think what I'm trying to say is Gen 11 is in for a rude awakening, but Gen 12, here's a twist. Gen 12 has to be a gardener with the outdoor enthusiast aspiration. And my plan is for Gen 12 is I want them to be a werewolf, because gardener, outdoor enthusiast aspiration, you a werewolf. It's kind of like a 2 and 2 type of thing, like a win-win situation there. So I think Gen 12 should be a werewolf, and then with the last Gen 13, you have to be a vampire and complete the master vampire aspiration. So having a little bit of a Twilight moment, a little Twilight Bella and Edward, Bella and Jacob moment for the last 2 gens to see what it can possibly do. Like if Greg and Vlad can't make it, let's hope my Sims can, because if they can, we might be doing some good stuff in the future for these, like, the Barry family, I don't know. Anyway, but regardless, I'm going to go and show you the house in real time so you can see what it looks like, especially in its current state. So when I was building this house on stream, I was trying to figure out the best possible way to make Gen 11's house look aesthetically pleasing without being too blinding to the eye, because everything is white on the outside, the wallpaper, the roofing. However, on the inside, I wanted to make sure it actually looked okay and decent and not too much, but also not too little, because they're an actor. They need stuff. They want to accumulate a lot of money and, objects in their home. Plus, they need like a good view and a good location. So that's why I kind of built in Tartosa. It's on a 20 by 20 lot, and the current state of the home is a little bit messy because I'm still playing Generation 11 at the moment. But ultimately, once you download it, it's all put together and easy peasy lemon squeezy and not too expensive. Now, for this room right here, I built it for Gen 11. And then over here, I built this room for Gen 12 since they're going to be a werewolf. But I wanted to make sure this room was like definitely fit for Gen 12. We'll do a few modifications over the, course of playing it. But for the most part, this is Gen 12's room, Gen 11's room. We have 1 bathroom throughout this entire house. And since we do have a bunch of cats, I definitely added in a cat tree in the corner because I thought it was really cute. Now, what's funny though, we have 4 cats, like I said. 2 cats on the counter, 1 cat on the floor, and I'm not really sure where the other cat is at. Usually these cats roam free and do whatever they want, and they are crazy and chaotic, but we love them either way. And honestly, for the size of the home, the cats actually like them, and they don't scratch my furniture anymore because I taught them not to scratch the furniture. But like I said, I have like, the pool back here, the grill, and little like, garden plot here and there for Gen 12. Oh, wait, here's the other cat. Oh my gosh. We have this cat on top of my fridge. Why? I'm telling you, these cats will jump on literally anything. I'm still teaching them not to jump on counters and like stuff over here. Once they learn, they won't do it anymore. But overall, the home is pretty decent. I love plants, plants love me, and personally, I cannot wait to build Gen 11, or actually Gen 12's home in the future. And I'm thinking of actually having Gen 12 live in Moonwood Mill, close to their mother, Rory, and see what we can possibly do with that. Rekindle the love, rekindle the relationship, and hopefully have a good steady income in the household, because right now, we ain't that rich. We only got 21,000 simoleons to our name for Gen 11, and they're supposed to be an actor. Crazy. But anyway, as always, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, have you ever played the Not So Berry challenge before? And have you completed all 10 generations? Or what current generation are you currently on this challenge? But if you want to know all the rules, I will link them down below, along with the extended rules as well. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!